who helps people that have had so much violence through an establishment who wanted to have all the people in favour in front of the people by violently degrading me, abusing me, torturing me? I'm now on a death sentence. I'm kept like a Jew because of this John and his girlfriends, his blonde little entourage, and it's not fair. It's just the whole thing's not fair. So I'm in Christchurch. They tried to institutionalise me with I'm at a backpackers. No one's around. They just sent 7 police to my backpackers and enforced me to go to a mental hospital when I didn't need to go to a mental hospital. There was no reason for me to be called up apart from I'd gone to the actual public hospital because my skin was burning and I was really, really sick. I think I might have got some sort of bacterial infection or something. I was burning up, and nobody in the hospital down in Christchurch gave me any investigation into urine testing or blood testing. When I went into the hospital, they didn't even find my name. It was under some name like Jenny Lee Ellerm, JennieLeeEllerem. I've never had this name, and I would not have given that name to the hospital at all. And they also had called up Anna in some different name as well, and Anna believed them. She believed I was making all this stuff up, and it was crazy because somebody is using different versions of my name and causing problems around all these different kind of institutions, emailing them and calling them, and they're bombing fake calls from AI that I'm mentally ill. I went and saw Anna to ask for help, and she's all locked in with Ruth and Frank Energy, and I was being blackballed by my own friend. And she doesn't need to see Rachel. There was no need for her to meet Rachel. Rachel's a loser. She's a no one. It's not that I don't think of her as a loser, but I mean, the way that these people carry on that they're so much superior than everybody else, on their scale, I would say they would call Rachel a loser. So why do they harass every friend that I've ever made? Every friend, all classes. She won't let me have any stability with anybody. She won't let me talk to anybody. This company seems to be allowed to wield all this violence over me with sexual torture, degrading, anuses, bullying, cruel corruption of sex trafficking all these years in a DD taxi. And because I heard that all at my job in Australia, and I didn't catch on, I was being a joke of sexual violence. And that she's been sexually assaulting me as a fatty. She's been doing it for years, because that was Australia. They were all bringing this up, and that was about 4 years ago, when I worked there. And this whole time, so she was going in there telling them she's a movie star. She looks like a movie star and I'm fat. And the whole time they were getting this guy to try and talk to me like I was a prostitute. And now I understand I've been sexually abused all these years. And also Kylie, who is definitely on their standard, is complete trash. So this is complete personal persecution, because I've got photos of Kylie's room. It's utter trash. Completely dirty, full of mold, disgusting things all over the ground. Everything's a mess. If you look at my homes, they're all tidy. So, it's real. I've gone through all these years of your establishment corrupt, abusing me and treating me like I'm trash, when you're picking up the most garbage people to do all this defamation on my name and rewarding people with money. And it's not fair. It's not fair, because this anti-Semitism is crime. To go around all the communities and show me this blackmail ring as soon as I got to Narita's a year ago was a nightmare. They're still abusing my face and my head is fucking ugly, which is violent, and it's blackmail, it's torture. You can't keep doing this. Somebody needs to be able to de-establish this ring. It's absolute cruelty, all of my character before this was a good character. I was a good character at work, and I should be allowed to relax at home if I feel really sensitive and abused without you constantly filming me. And you're parasitic. You've been doing it for years. Like, you've never ever stopped surveillancing me and trying to project all your hatred onto me. And when I've finally lashed out, you then punish me for the way that I'm reacting. It's just an insane amount of corruption and violence, and it was all to make sure that I didn't have anyone to value me. They have made sure nobody will value me all over Australia. And so I got up after the corruption of the government using and abusing me in the public, that I was some sort of, liar or something about my disability, and that she's trying to mark my name as a dole bludger, but all of my skills are the same. She's upskilled herself to be the same sort of skill set as me. Why would I lie about who I was in my past? It's just kind of not helpful to just label me as a dole bludger when I was really going through something healing. And I think it's really corrupt and abusive to allow government officials and other officials to be allowed to go meet people like Crystal, who they've actually erased. I think it's really abusive if you're erasing the evidence on my phone of a mass amount of letters of my time talking about my breakup with Ruben. I think it's really abusive that you've been allowed to go into my property and harass and erase this stuff, these letters, and you're actually going to meet Crystal, you're actually going to meet Danica, you're going to meet Ingrid, you're going to meet Min. I don't consent to any of this. The way you're establishing your business is really corrupt. And then to go to my landlords like Arlene, I want to protest about that, because Arlene was a really bad landlord to me. No, was she the one? I don't know if she had a co-worker. I can't remember whether it was her or the co-worker. She wouldn't replace a window, and it is her duty as a landlord to help do that. And she just said that I had to pay for absolutely everything, and it wasn't my fault. What happened with the window, it wasn't from fighting, it wasn't from anything. It was because the quality of the glass was bad and she didn't want to replace it. So I complained, and then she started seeing me as a trouble person because I complained that I didn't want to pay for something that was her problem, basically. So I think it's really one-sided, your smear campaign, and I don't know who else you've got on there. I never did anything bad to Miriam. I saw her bad actions to another tenant, but she never really did anything bad to me. I didn't have anything prejudice or anything to complain about her. And I don't know, there was another lady, Kerry, that they've gone to meet, and another guy called Kerry. They're both landlords that I've lived with, and Tammy. I never did anything disgusting or rude, and I never was dirty in their home. So you're labeling me something that I'm not. You're really targeted and ruining all of my connections, and you're actually blacklisting me and really getting all these lawyers you're getting police to stop me talking to anyone I've ever known. But you're using these people in massive campaigns against me. Any children that are in this making attacks at me as a war crime, because there was conflict around the city that I was fat and gross and I'm a joke, and now you're ruining my vagina to make another publicity stunt. And all of your reputation that you've made up in your head into the public by photos and scams is all protected by massive public policy, and mine's not. I tried to walk around all the MPs 3 years ago about public policy, and I feel like I already got removed from Auckland 3 years ago from my landlord. She decided that she, at Christmas, was going to give everybody a piece of the pie, a portion here, and has kept me racially divided. And I'm pretty sure there's some news by some Maori group that I was racially that there was a racial treaty and it was very, very racist, and it is. I don't have any perks or benefits. Everything that I've worked for in my life or my skills is my landlord's business, but I'm not allowed to use these skills. Like, my reputation was completely damaged. And this tiger and this other girl, who's the other one? Is the chicken the Indonesians or the Chinese? Like, I've just had no rights. Like, and then Australia seems the most racist of all when they were the biggest trash of all. That's what I can't understand, is out of all of these people, I would consider the Australians quite mostly the most trashiest people that I've ever met. Like, they're rough, they kind of like were just all in quite low level jobs, they're brutes. And I didn't, most of the people that I met in Australia, like, out in the public, were really nice and friendly people. They're just different, they're more loud than here, but the people that are attacking me, I'm saying, are mostly low-life barbarians, the ones that are like, you know, they've got issues and they've got problems and they've got money problems and they live very, very dirty. So that's just so, you've taken all classes of people and you won't let me be around anyone, and I feel like this blackmail circle that I've got a chicken butt and I've used it and keep anally abusing me in the streets, going, you're out with the old dusty asses out, is in Australia and New Zealand, which was to make Kiki a star, and I feel like it's crime. Like, I shouldn't be blackmailed there, then put here in a blackmail ring that I'm fucking ugly, and now I'm in a blackmail ring that my vagina's scary, and it's barbarian what those Australians are doing, because I wouldn't have a stretched vagina like that. Like, it's disgusting. Like, I don't do anything crazy anymore. I mean, they make out that I'm just like so boring, but I'm actually really stressed all the time. When I'm not stressed and I've actually got my own money, I'm really adventurous. And that's the thing, it's like they try and make out that I'm a downer and I'm depressed and I'm grumpy, and that's not my identity at all. I was always travelling, I always am the innovator of what they're making money out of. They've made money out of all of my photography themes and the direction that I was going in and the vision that I see it. They make money out of my fashion ideas. They've made money out of some of the language and ways that I've communicated things. They have basically been using it in their own way of communicating, and I'm not trying to be an influence, but I was a good influence. In the past, when they started attacking me, I was a bad influence. I was really good around those children. So I feel like it's it's just double standards, this business. You're allowed to completely destroy my life, give mass defamations. I've been kidnapped from Australia and put here, and it's like they're saying I can have stable housing, but is it really stable? Because I'm just going to end up in a community that's really hating on me, that I'm a real wildebeest, I'm fat all the time, I'm always publicised. I'm laboured for years and years as a massive joke, and it's not ethical. Like, I've had no rights to my face being disfigured all these years, or no extra support. And it's kind of like treating the victim like I'm worthy of being a massive joke and constantly making me pay for this model to have a good life with all of my connections. Like, all of them, like all of my co-workers that I've ever met in my whole life, all of my friends I've ever met, all of them. Not just like a set of people in Christchurch. They've gone to meet my flatmate group. They've gone I've had different flats that I've established a little group with. They've gone to meet all the people overseas that I've talked about. They're meeting all my exes. It's a complete obsession and abuse of power.